All right, so I had a surprise box show up today, and I think we should jump right into this. Now, this is a bit tricky to explain because if you just want a Last of Us Part 2 Ellie statue, especially Ellie with bow, here's where it gets tricky. They made like 4 different ones from a few different companies. This one is actually from BigBadToyStore.com. I gotta say, these are incredible, the NECA 1/4 scale figures. Pre-order them immediately. I got Catwoman up there still, and Penguin actually. They are incredible. Anyway, so this is the 8-inch, if I remember right. 8-inch Ellie with bow. It was, now we're gonna get a bit of a glare. I'll show you the box, but this was announced first as, I think it was like a 19-inch resin, $180 statue, limited, and it sold out instantly. A lot of bots got it, some fans got lucky and got it. And fans were rightfully pissed off, and to try to soothe things over, they came out with a Ellie with a machete, and I was going to pre-order that, but it was only open for a month. I was actually going through a rough month, so I missed the pre-order window. But a week after that pre-order closed, they announced this. Now here's the tricky thing: the Ellie with machete is different, but it's kind of similar to this idea. But she has a machete. The Ellie with the bow is the exact same. It's the same sculpt. It's the same paint. Let me open this off camera. All right, here we go. Now, like I said, it's the same sculpt, and I believe it's the same paint. It is sculpted by Naughty Dog. Again, it's identical to the bigger version. This is the 8-inch version. It is painted by Gentle Giant. And it's released by Dark Horse, I believe, is the one who distributed it. I may have that a little bit wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's on point. But again, it's identical. It's just a very shrunken down version of the big one. If you look back there, that is a gorgeous quarter scale clicker by Gaming Heads. That is the size, I believe. Or, you know what? No, because that's like a $300 one, and I think the other one was like, I think the resin was probably, let's say, 12 inches. You'll have to look it up. But my point is, this is a smaller version. I can compare it with a Nathan Drake from Uncharted. This is by NECA. This is, if I have it right, a 6-inch scale figure. So you see how he stands compared to this. I think this would roughly be around an 8-inch, so it's a touch bigger. The only thing I have 8-inch wise is this is a head from, it's the mask from a NECA 8-inch retro cloth. As you can see, I don't know. So I think between 6 and 8 scale wise, and that's just to give you an understanding of where it falls in line with other collectibles. Now the base is, I don't like having a name on it. I didn't mind it. This is from the collector's edition. I didn't mind it on the collector's edition. It looks nice. It is a bit sloppy on this version. That could be easy to fix. However, when you got them side by side, and maybe you even have the one with the machete, kind of bummed out I missed that one actually. That one was, I think, if I could pick out of all of them, I think that was probably one of my favorites. But having the name, I don't like it. Especially considering this Ellie looks decent from a number of angles. And it just has the title off to it. I wish they would make like a little clip. Clip it on, you have the title. Clip it off, or even a clip that can clip in multiple different spots. Anyway, I'm being complicated. I think this thing honestly is overpriced. It is a $50 statue. It honestly should be a $30 piece, in my personal opinion. Now, I think the face is off. Here's the tricky part. It's not bad. It's a nice looking statue. From certain angles like this or other angles, it looks pretty good. At a distance, it looks decent. When you look at it up close, you can see a little weak spot by the blood. The way the blood is layered there looks kind of, cheap. Her face doesn't look anything like the character, in my opinion. However, in this pose, she did have this scowl on that didn't look like the Ellie we know, from within the game. Anyhow, good detail when it comes to the smaller bits like blood, dirt sprinkled in to her skin here, I think it's supposed to be blood. It looks more like dirt. Baby diarrhea. Actually, it's kind of like a yellow brown, but I think it's supposed to be blood. Some little, when you get this size, the feathers are painted her skin color. It should be gray. Little stuff like that. You're going to get that. I was helping my daughter do a painting project, so don't mind that. There's string on the bow. This is pliable, but you want to be careful with it. Same thing back here. Get a good look at the blade. And it is pliable. Mine came bent. I hit it with a little bit of heat, and you can straighten it back out. It was pretty bent under the book bag. Here's some weathering. The rocket, when they went to the museum. One of the best chapters inside part 2. Here's more blood splatter and just the old moss, dirt, wear and tear. Here's arrows poking out of her book bag. You have her hair sculpted good. Again, it looks accurate to the game. A little paint slop there with the blood blending in with her hair. Now her eyes are a bit off. See her one eye? If you're looking at her on the right, it's going to be her left eye though. It's just flat up off. Now luckily when you get it at an angle how it's going to be on the shelf, you're not going to notice as cleanly. I think the only thing I have to say is for a hardcore fan, if you are a hardcore fan, it's probably going to be a pickup because there's not many, and that's the key. There's not much out there. So this will be likely one of your few options currently. If you like Ellie and you're kind of mixed, I don't know. Because there's not many options out there, this would be, I'd say, grab it for 30 bucks all day. But that 50 just pushes it over the top. For 50, for how small it is, you would kind of expect a really crisp paint job. And it is cleaner than, believe it or not, cleaner than I expected, but it's just not all the way there. The the Rubble has weird, I don't know, like a weird teal green blended in there. Some of the darker green looks good, but some of that teal green looks like it wasn't properly mixed, and it was supposed to be highlights more so than just these splatches. Especially here looks terrible. It looks like it was supposed to be more of a highlight, and it just overpowers it. But some of the darker green here, more natural colors, I think that looks pretty good. And then you got the wood, the sticks there, her shoes. Yeah, it's not bad. And here's the size compared to the collector's edition. Now what's neat is this thing is like a feather. It weighs next to nothing. I'm going to explain this in a second. I know some people are going to look at it like, what the hell? This thing is heavy, and that's like a 2-ton brick. I don't know what they did with the part 1, which I'm so grateful one of y'all sent it in as a gift, but damn, that thing is like made out of pure cement. And they are supposed to be PVC, I think, all 3 of them. Real quick, though, because I know someone's going to ask. I reviewed this already. It's a custom-made latex mask by Phase 2 Effects. They actually made... This blew me away. He made a life-size clicker. Here's his name up here. He runs the Phase 2 Effects. And this life-size clicker, it's absolutely incredible. Here's some of the detail. We won't really go over too much of this, but definitely check him out. I know he makes some of these to sell. Look at those teeth. Look at that slime. Oh, it's so gross and so cool. I'm blown away by this life-size clicker. It's incredible. So again, for those who are going to ask, Phase 2 Effects. Now, I'm not going to actually try to get more within the collection as far as the Last of Us Part 2 plays out, because Gaming Heads is making literally the same. They're taking the Sculpt, they're making the same statue. On the bright side, they're giving you an alternate head and a hand, so you can at least change the position. Someone else, I think Dark Horse Direct did a 12-inch, and then there's an 18-inch version. There's a version for $100 with the machete. Well, that's sold out, so it's probably going to be like $100 million the way fans price things and resellers do it. Here's some of the grime. Get a good look under the light. Some powerful grime there. And if you are into zombies, I got to tell you, I'm actually currently shipping out my comic. I gotta shout it out, because if you are into zombies, I am extremely proud. You get this plus a goodie bag for $30, 128 pages, premium quality. I've shown this off to a number of people, and they are absolutely blown away by the quality of it in hand. So we are shipping right now. That's what all these boxes are, actually. I'm actually shipping out 110 orders tomorrow, and then I got some international orders, and then I'll be getting to the new orders. So definitely keep an eye out for that. All right, so I don't know if there's much more you want to see under the light. Get a good look at her face, maybe. And here's the thing. When you get these smaller display pieces, it's not meant for you to blast a light on it and really inspect. I mean, you can look at the detail. Her crotch looks weird the way they sculpted that. It just doesn't look like jeans. But you actually have texture on her pants that came through in this size, which is actually pretty impressive for this size. But this is made to pop on the shelf at a certain distance and be happy with it. It looks cool. And to be honest, from this distance, it does look really, really well. Now listen, it is a smaller piece, and I don't think the camera's going to pick it up. But at the distance it is, it looks like a higher quality piece than it is. It may even, it may even pass for something that is more along the lines of a $100 piece. It's not until you get closer where you realize it is on the cheaper end, on the cheaper PVC end. So here's part of my Last of Us. I am a massive Part 1 fan. I'm still mixed on Part 2. I think it's one of the greatest video games in the world when it comes to gameplay and world. It's simultaneously one of the worst sequels I've ever played in my life. I think Neil Druckmann just, he dropped the ball, and he stuffed it, you know. Anyway, I am still, because I'm a massive zombie fan, going to keep some type of nice, small, specific, and tight collection when it comes to the Last of Us stuff. I still do have plans to get a full-size clicker, either on the ground or standing up, and that will lead into the main collection. Last of Us leading into some more zombie stuff. But I am actually happy with this piece. This is cool, but I stick with, this is more of a $30 piece all day, every day, sell thousands of them, just mass produce them, get them out of there. For $50, that's a bit of a robbery there. Anyhow, thoughts and opinions. What do you think about the new statue from Naughty Dog, Gentle Giant, and Dark Horse? And if you're new, I reviewed these guys. I made that background just to have something for them to display on. But I think it's pretty good so far. All right, that's one of my favorites. So look at that. And that guy's gross, man. The clicker design, I say it all the time. It's genius. It is just genius.